How's it going?
Good. How's it going?
Going great. Jesse Peterson.
Oh, my name is Engmann.
Richard. Great. Have a seat.
Thank you. How are you doing?
Doing well. Doing really well. Today's been a good day.
And how is business?
It's going well. I flew into Boston yesterday, and so I'm really glad to be here, glad to be meeting with you. So I know that they've already taken care of a lot of the business, so now they're calling in the professionals to take care of it the right way, right?
Yeah, I guess we are the professionals, right?
There we go. That's how it works.
Yeah. I've also been looking forward to this meeting. My CEO told me he met with your CEO and they talked about stuff, and now here we are. Yeah. So I hope at the end of this we can work something out and see that we're moving forward.
Great.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're hoping for as well. I'm glad that you're very open-minded.
Okay. Yeah. So why did you, I guess, come to Hawkins, if I should say, for this to be the anchor of to be our anchor of the mall that we're opening? Yeah. What's the reason you guys came?
Right.
Yeah.
We've been looking at the Boston area for a while. We don't have any other locations in the Boston area, and it seems like a good place to begin putting locations. So more or less, I guess you could say it's even an experimental. We want to see if this location is going to be a go, if people are going to be attracted to the discount store in the Boston location. We're assuming that they will. We've had a lot of success in other areas. And if that's the case, then potentially build other locations in Boston as well.
Sure. And I see that's a very good choice because we've actually made some research into this area, and we know that with the kind of goods that you guys sell, it would attract customers. You would have good business in this Boston area, that we can assure you. Otherwise, we wouldn't undertake such a huge project in the first place, knowing it's going to go downhill,
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's a relief to me to hear as well.
Yeah. So
that's great. And I know that that you guys have looked over the different agreement.
Mm-hmm.
We have locations spread out throughout the United States. We are a chain company, and it was brought to my attention that you guys have some issues, and that's kind of why we're at an impasse.
Yes.
If you would just shed light on what you're struggling with. Exactly.
So it all has to do with the clause that was come up in the previous negotiation. Okay, so with the clause that was provided by discount in the previous negotiation, it says that, quote, "The premises hereby demised may be used for any lawful purpose. Tenant may assign this lease or sublet the whole or any part of the demised premises. But if it does so, it shall remain liable and responsible under this lease." And this is the clause that was provided by us, Hawkins. It says the tenant may use these premises only in a manner consistent with its soft goods retail operation as described herein for the term of this lease. The tenant may not assign or sublet these premises in whole or in parts to any other vendor or entity without the prior written approval of the landlord. So I guess this is what puts us at the impasse. Okay, and I just want to know the concerns. Okay, that obviously looking at where we have reached now, you guys say you don't want to do anything with it to assign or sublet. We say you may not do that. Okay, but I just want to point out something that we are not saying you cannot do something like that. We're just saying that if you want to do something like that, then we'd have to, sit down and talk about it, see the best way moving forward. And the reason that we say this is because the vision that we have for you, discount, is obviously to be the anchor. Okay, and by you coming into this mall that we've built, you're gonna attract lots of customers, and the customers will come to you, shop, and then maybe when they're done visiting with you guys, like shopping, then they can look at other places in the mall. Okay, and the big conflict of that is that there are going to be other satellite companies in the mall. So if, let's say, you guys come up with selling maybe home appliances like blenders and stuff, and there's another satellite store in there, they're gonna feel kind of threatened by the competition, and we wouldn't want that to happen. Yeah, so I guess my question to you is, what do you have to say about that? Like, what are your concerns with not being able to just get up and do anything without seeking our approval?
Right. And I mean, obviously, if I were potentially in your position, I might feel the same way. You guys are this is your first mall project, your first big construction project. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Awesome. I mean, we've done this in 200 other locations. We haven't had a lot of issues with the clause just because people find that it offers a lot of security for them, knowing that we, as the professionals in retail, obviously you guys know what's up in real estate, but when it comes to retail, we're the professionals. We know what's going on and we know what's best for our company. Having that flexibility to change and be right on the edge of the market, wherever it might go, is very important to us. And obviously, it wouldn't look good for me to go back to the other managers in the firm and tell them that we have 200 locations that are all on par, on the same wavelength, and then we have this one location in Boston that isn't able to sublet, isn't able to assign, has a lot of restrictions. It's just not going to look good, and it's not feasible for us.
Okay, I perfectly understand your concerns. I mean, going back to the board and explaining to them that there's just this one location that we cannot do that, right? I just want to make it clear to you, okay, is that the clause that we have provided doesn't restrict you per se from doing things. Okay, what it does is it gives you the freedom to do it, but with some point of us sitting down together and talking about it, so we could know how best to not affect the other satellite businesses inside the mall. So you guys still have the freedom, okay, to explore new areas, okay, but if you would like for us to sit down and talk about implementing those ideas inside the mall, okay, and see what the effects are going to be on the other companies in the mall.
So just to make sure that we're on the same page here, you're concerned about the other satellite tenants being unhappy with the situation. Is that true, or even that they won't sign?
So so what we're concerned about is the competition that's going to arise. Say if a satellite store is selling the same things that you guys are selling, because we know you guys deal in soft goods like clothing and other stuff. So say if another store should be selling like home appliances like blenders and washing machines and other stuff like that, and then you guys should introduce that, there's going to be some competition there, and which will likely kick them out of business, because of course you guys are the big guys when it comes to low prices and stuff like that.
Right. And I totally understand where you're coming from on that. Obviously, you guys are trying to make a go of it here in this location, and we totally understand that. Have you ever heard the adage, don't let the tail control the dog?
Yeah.
So especially in this situation, I mean, I don't think that you should be majorly concerned about these smaller satellite tenants who are essentially the tail of the operation, control the dog, or discount, who is kind of the larger and the key component of making this mall work. To me, that just doesn't sound very feasible, to be super concerned about these smaller tenants when discount is going to be a majority holder in the share of the space that's being leased here in the mall.
Yeah, I totally get your point. Okay, that these other satellite companies may seem small and irrelevant as compared to how big discount is, but we just want to help them stay in business. Okay, and we have actually looked at some of the satellite stores that are coming in the event that discount would have to change some of its products to best suit the customers that are coming in. Say maybe you guys come in with clothing, that's what you guys normally sell, right? And then 5 years down the line, the clothing industry or business in Boston isn't going that well. Okay, you would have to introduce a new product to best suit the market. What are some of the products that you guys would be looking into introduce?
It's hard to say further on down the road, but I will mention this to you. You mentioned soft goods and restrictions as far as that goes. Currently, we do have some smaller hard products, just smaller appliances and stuff that are being sold in the store. So as is, if we're completely restricted to soft goods, it'd be difficult for us to even move into the space because we are currently selling a small portion of the hard goods. Obviously, we're not going to start selling lawnmowers or large furniture out of our stores. It's just not really what we do. We are in the smaller retail business, but I mean, we have no idea where the market's going to go. I mean, with retail, obviously at this point in time, Amazon can bring anything to your door from A to Z, and Walmart and Target and other locations like this you can pull your car up and they'll load it right in. So the retail business these days is really just exploding, and to stay ahead of that, we need that flexibility that is guaranteed regardless of what we decide to sell in the future. Obviously, it's probably not going to be anything too drastic to what we're selling right now, but that flexibility is really important to us, as you can understand. It's just the retail business is just dog eat dog at some points.
Yeah, I mean, you've brought up a very good point, a very credible point with regards to how retail is evolving these days. And I just want to clarify something, like a word used, restrictions. It is not our intention to place any restrictions on you as to the kind of goods that you want to introduce into the market. Okay, that's very far from the intentions we have. Because you guys are going to be the anchor of this this mall in the Boston area, obviously we're going to give you the priority, because once again you guys are going to hold a large percentage of the building, and we're going to give you the flexibility to introduce goods based on the market, because that's how business works.
Right.
Okay, yes.
Absolutely.
We just want to make sure that we are in the know of certain things that are going to happen.
Sure.
Okay, and the reason I say this is because, this mall would soon complete construction, and we've already negotiated with the guys building this project. Okay, and they are concerned about maybe certain things or certain goods that are going to be introduced. So we just want to be sure that whatever that's going to happen meets the standards that have already been set. Okay. Sure. So once again, it is far from my intentions to put restrictions on you. Okay, what we just want to happen is to be in the know of things that you guys are gonna do. So it's not like we wake up one morning and we see an entirely different discount. If you guys want to change the products that you guys are gonna sell, then maybe we could sit down and talk about it. We're not going to be dictators that like, no, you cannot sell this, no, you can't, no. We're not going to do that. We just want to be in the know, so that it's not like we are left out of anything that's happening. And I guess that would, better improve the relationship that we already have with you guys, and that would be best moving forward.
Awesome.
What do you have to say about that?
With regards to that, that sounds fantastic. Again, I'm so grateful that you guys are very open-minded and able to see kind of the limitations that we're facing and our needs and our interests. I would definitely say that that's feasible to maintain the clause as it is, with maybe a sub-clause that dictates that we'll definitely let you guys know what's happening. In the event that we need to pull out, then we'll give you guys a 6 months notice. With the event that people are subletting, obviously they'll be run by you guys before that happens.
Yeah.
Awesome. Fantastic. Time.
Okay.